allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Almighty and everlasting God, who presides over all things in heaven and earth, come and preside over these deliberations so that those that make the decision may be guided by your wisdom.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the April 22nd work session meeting of Wilkes-Barre City Council. Clerk?
Mayor?
Mayor?
Oh,
There he is.
you're up. I don't know who took yours. Huh? Oh, okay.
Officer Benson, how are you? Good, how are you? Good. Oh, Kathy, someone printed this in nice large font.
Oh, that's Lisa. Lisa did that.
Isn't that nice? Large font.
I don't need my glasses on.
That's the regular font right there, right? Okay, good evening, everyone. We have a couple of resolutions here for you to consider. Authorizing the proper city officials to enter into an agreement, the lowest responsible bidder, Panzita Enterprises, in the amount of $49,500, along with any and all other project documents for the Hollenbach Fire Station Auxiliary Garage Project. The project will be funded through the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Office of State Fire Commissioners Grant Program and the Wilkes-Barre Fire Department's General Fund budget. Here tonight is the esteemed Jay Delaney, who is, as you know, our fire chief. If you have any questions, Jay is here to answer for you.
Jay, I have a question. Is this like a pole barn?
It's, as they described to us, a prefabricated metal building.
Okay.
And it's on a 6-inch concrete slab, because we have to have the extra concrete, because there might be a fire engine or an ambulance parked in there at some point, or spares. So aesthetically, if you drove by Hollenbach Fire Station, it looks nicer than it ever has been. Mayor authorized new station doors on it. So this building that will be next to it will be the same color and match in perfectly with the Hollenbach Fire Station.
How big is it going to be?
30 feet by 30 feet.
Oh, what, 2 doors?
There'll be 2 doors in the front. They'll be red just to match the fire station. And there'll be a man door closest to the fire station, and there'll be a window located up high on the Hollenbach Golf Course side of the building.
Okay, so it's going to be on the parking lot side? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Closer, about 10 feet away from the current fire station, so that we don't lose the value, the parking value, of the station, because we do training up there, we do other things at that station.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Does it faces Pennsylvania Avenue or Washington?
Yeah, it will look like a mini Hollenbach Fire Station. To the right of the firehouse, it will be the same green siding, the same color doors, but just a smaller building. And really, the mayor has known, and we've struggled to find the funding to be able to do this, because our city has the same amount of buildings as it had 30 years ago. We have more population that we've had 10 years ago or 12 years ago. And our backup water rescue boat has been parked outside. Some of our other vehicles have been outside, so we found a way, and the mayor supported us to be able to get everything in one place. And really, if you walked into Hollenbach Fire Station now, between the area ladder truck and an ambulance, there's a lawn tractor, there's lawn mowers, there's snow blowers. Yeah. They're all trip hazards. The petroleum, the fuels aren't good around the turnout gear, so this is just really, we feel it's a perfect fit for us, and we found the funding where it's very, very limited amount of general fund money. It's mostly funded by grants.
Good.
Yeah, no, you just answered all the question I had. What else would be stored in there besides a fire truck or whatever? So that's, yeah, thank you.
So this will be mostly storage. Are you not going to cut out the curb to make the driveway wider?
No, there'll be no cuts there. If you look at the pavement, in fact, Councilwoman, if you drove into Hollenbach Station, the parking lot, you'll see 4 green markers in the parking lot there. That's right where the building will go. Right to the back part of the pavement is where it will be. And again, it will look like a small fire station, and we'll at sometimes if we have to park an ambulance in there, we will. At sometimes there might be a fire engine, but the backup water rescue boat and all of the equipment to take care of Hollenbeck Fire Station will definitely be stored in there.
Okay. Then my other question is, do we have a bid sheet for this?
Do we have a what?
A bid sheet.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
I'll get it right,
I know.
you know. Yeah, we'll get it to you.
Thank you.
We only had one bidder on it.
Really? Okay.
And see, with this money, you have to use prevailing wage
Right.
and so forth, so that's why Panzita was the only bidder.
Got it. Thank you.
Answer your
Yeah,
question,
thank you.
Stan, earlier, it's prevailing wage, and the contractors have to pay a prevailing wage.
Okay.
So that's why it was just a one bid.
Okay, thank you.
Clarify that, Mayor. Actually, Hadley bid on the project also, but if Hadley bid, I think, $158,000 versus Panzita, the $49,500.
So, Lois,
Yeah.
Chief, at 49.5, that was my next question. Is this going to have electric and heat and water, I assume, right?
No.
Is that in this
So-
bid?
No, it's not. It's the building with insulation, roof, doors, everything is there, and we're going to preset it that we can, once we get the funding, again, we needed a third bay up there for the equipment. We had to get our equipment out of the elements and underneath. So we will, and it is our goal, we'll see how our budget looks later this year, and if we're able then to put heating inside, electricity, we're going to go and we're going to do that. But
Okay.
we're just doing our best to live within our means, and I
I got
think we're doing that with this building.
That makes sense, because at 49.5, that's pretty cheap for all of that, yeah.
Else? Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
thank you, Chief. Good job. Now you know why I said the esteemed Fire Chief Jaden. Any other questions regarding that project, Councilman? We're good? Okay, also appointing William Murtha to the Parking Authority. We have an opening that exists, so Mr. Murtha is already on Fire Civil Service Commission. So you guys know Bill Murtha, and great job he does, so we're going to fill that position. And then lastly, Gail Malloy came to me about 2 weeks ago and asked if I could get your approval for her to give a presentation regarding Challenger baseball, and a presentation she's going to be giving later on this month. But she wanted City Council and the public to see this, so I suggested Thursday night she comes, because we get a better, as you know, following with the public here. So she'll give it, it's not a long presentation, but a lot of good, valuable information she put together. So she does a great job, and I'm looking forward to it. And Councilman, thank you for the approval, and other council members letting her do that. I appreciate that. That's what I have right now, but I want to add a couple of things. I'm not adding anything to the agenda here. Just a couple insights, okay? Yesterday I was up at the bog, and it's coming along really well. If you've been up there, there could be a lot of different enhancements to the bog, roadways, and there'll be fencing up to prevent people from driving on the grassy areas. Bill, I believe that's your district. And it's going to be really enhanced where you're going to see a beautiful addition to the current playground. There'll be an addition of the special needs playground. And then also you're going to see eventually 6 pickleball courts up there. Pickleball's gotten really, really popular. I know the other 2 courts that we have down by where I live, they're busy all the time, and even on Sunday, which was Easter, people were playing. So it's popular. So there'll be 6 pickleball courts and some other enhancements that will be going there. So I ask you, please, when you get a chance, take a ride and take a look at what we're doing, okay? Also, I wanted to say that on my way back to City Hall, I stopped at the skateboard park, and there were some people using it, and I stopped and talked to them, and they came in from Reading. They heard about our skateboard park, so they came in from Reading to travel in to try it, and they loved it. They thought it was great, and I told them it was designed by skateboarders, scooter, and BMX bike enthusiasts, so they really enjoyed it. So the word's gotten out that, hey, look, at Wilkes-Barre City has a place you want to go to try skateboarding, so they loved it. They really did like it a lot. And so I just want to say one last thing. Today, Councilman Mirren and Councilman Brooks and I were over at Kirby Park for Earth Day, and 78, I think was the number. Wilkes-Barre City, they were junior
Yes.
high school students were there, and they planted a tree for Earth Day, but also it was a nice festive celebration. So I want to thank Councilman Mirren for inviting me, and also Mr. Brooks for sharing with me the time that we had allotted. A lot of good history was mentioned by Mr. Brooks. So
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
it was a good day, and spending some time with these high school juniors was great. They're a great bunch of kids. So it was another great day.
And what was nice about it, the park was spotless, right, Tony? Spotless.
Very clear.
Okay. Any other questions for me? Can I go sit down?
You may.
Sorry?
Why don't you wait till they do presentation?
All right, I'll wait.
Councilman Belisco.
Charlie, I'll probably email you anyway, but 206 Old River Road, we've had this issue before. It's just junk all over the place. 206 Old River Road, but I'll email you tomorrow. The other thing is there's a tire garage type thing on Franklin and Wood. There's tires all over the place outside. That's all, Chairman.
Councilman Barrett.
We talk about reckless driving, speeders and all that kind of stuff, but there's one that bothers me, and you might have seen this, and I'm sure Officer Benson has seen this. And I just want to let you know that we do have an ordinance pertaining to this type of action, and that's people, when they come down, say they're coming down Monday Street from the Wyoming Valley Mall, and they don't feel like waiting for the light, and they zip through that Jiffy Lube, or they cut through here, or Turkey Hills and all. We do have an ordinance on that, because I know, because I was involved in it in 2008. We drafted it out. And my question is, a couple of questions. Just want to make sure that the officers are aware of this particular ordinance, because there is no state law that duplicates that. This is very unique ordinance. Several cities have it to prevent that. I saw somebody come down Monday Street the other day, cut through that Jiffy Lube lot as somebody was pulling out of one of the bays. And they didn't care. I mean, they just didn't want to wait for the light and zip through there. The ordinance, I don't have the section number in front of me, but I can send it to everybody, only calls for a $50 fine, which I think is very minimalistic. But the one thing about these ordinances, when we do enforce them that way, we're all aware that those fines come back to us on city ordinances. They don't all go to the state. As compared to a traffic citation, when you cite somebody under the vehicle code, we only get 1/2 of the fine, 50% of the fine, and the rest are all fees and court costs, EMS fees and everything else. We don't get any of that. In this particular case, and I'm not looking to make money on it, but you certainly could, because this goes on all the time, especially in that particular area up there, a couple different locations. Can we increase the fine to make it a little bit more where people might think twice about doing that? And I would also just like to make sure that our officers are aware of this particular tool, because I would love to be able to write those citations now, but it's an ordinance that goes back to 2008. I don't know if it's been used much, but it would go a long way to preventing these dangerous practices that people do, and it's just very upsetting to watch people just cut through parking lots to avoid traffic lights, Turkey Hills and gas stations and
I noticed that.
convenience stores and whatever else it may be. And I'm sure it seems to be very prevalent up in that East End area, and that Scott Street, Monday Street, I think because of the amount of traffic coming down from the shopping centers. But if you could let me know, Tim, if you could take a look at it, see if we can maybe update it a little bit and how far we could actually go on the fine. I know other municipalities have a little bit more of a fine.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. We could certainly
That would be
increase the
great.
fine.
In the meantime, I'll send it to everybody so they can look at it too and see what they think about it. And I'll also send it to the chief and Captain Boyle, just to let them be aware of it. They may not even be aware of it.
I think it's a good idea, Bill, because, if they get hit with a larger fine, it may deter them.
A little bit of awareness.
Good
so
idea.
People realize that you just can't do these types of things.
Yeah.
You're endangering people in these businesses. You walk out of a store and you get run over by somebody who doesn't want to wait for a traffic light.
And we've increased other fines, as you know, over the last 6 years. So we've gone in and changed them. So fireworks is one of them.
Probably an old ordinance. you know,
I'll get that off
years
to
ago.
everybody, including you, and we can take a look at it and see if there's something we can do with it. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Councilman Marin?
No, it's just for administration. It's nice to see that some of these roads are being paved, that the they're broke now, so I know, thanks for doing South Main Street. That was done pretty quick, and some of these lines are being painted as well. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed in your areas, it's looking a lot better.
With me, too.
Making it more drivable in the city. And that's all I have for today.
Councilwoman McClay?
So the camera at the bog, I love it. I think it's a fantastic camera, seems to work well. Is that something we can, and I believe that one was donated? The one that you're using to show the
One that
progress?
I send you?
Yes. So is that can we look at getting that in all of our parks as a safety feature, or?
I'll talk into this, or Kathy's going to yell at me. That was actually donated, that camera system, by a vendor, and Donnie Douglas Evans is the one that installed it for us. So he's the one that sends me the links. I don't know what the cost would be because, as I said, it was donated. We can check with Donnie and see what the cost was, and then I can get back to you. But honestly, because it was donated, I didn't get
Yeah.
a price on it.
Okay.
But it's great, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's
Very
it's a
clear.
great camera, and I think it would be a great resource when it comes to graffiti, crime, even just in general, for everybody to see, what's going on in the city with the clean parks.
Safety,
They
yeah.
look great. So,
Yeah, and with the enhancements at the park, it's going to be necessary, but, we did other things too, like Kirby Park, as you know, with the special needs park. We have cameras over there, bright light that's over there, but let me check for you,
Okay.
and I'll get with Donnie tomorrow.
perfect. And then the other thing I have is the line painting on the curbs for the no parking here to corner. Are they out doing those now? Because a lot of them are not there, or...
Yeah,
they're-
we contracted to have a company do that. We're painting throughout the city right now. We submitted a list, but they're getting to it as they can, weather permitting. We just did one across from Margarita Azul, Tony, as you know. And that was an area that was very problematic, but now we have a line and a stop sign. We also added signage. So we've gotten a lot of, kudos and thank yous for doing that. So we are doing it. We're addressing line painting throughout the city, making it more vibrant but also safer. So yes, we're doing that.
Are they doing the curbs as well, like no parking here to corner curbs, or is that our DPW does that? Like the yellow that they usually put on the corners?
Yeah, you mean along the curb?
Yes.
DPW does that.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of those are what I noticed has been faded on a lot of these streets.
If you'd like to send me a list, I'm happy to. Maybe we should add that to Lisa's list.
She has nothing else to do.
Kathy, she's going to love that one, isn't she?
I'm not,
We'll ask her on
I was just talking about that with Tony today.
Yeah.
It seems like we add more and more to right, Tim? We add more and more to Lisa, but we could do that also.
Okay. That's all. Thank you.
And I was going to mention about the lines, too. I was at the library, the new library branch at Parish and High Street, and the sheer amount of traffic on that corner is amazing, and hopefully those lines will work. I saw new lines on Ross Street, new lines over by CVS on South Main Street. So,
And down South Main Street, we're coming this way with the lines too, where the new building that was purchased by Building Blocks. We're going to be doing a lot of the crosses and crosswalks and things like that. So you're going to see it as the weather permits, a lot of new bright white lines going up.
good. And Charlie, the only thing I have is that problematic block of Blackman Street, the 405, 407, the red brick ones. I got another report, just horrendous.
There's only one. There's only one. We've checked all of them. There's only one, and the problem there is...
The one who has the whole
Yeah, the...
dining room
that's
set
the
out.
only one. Yeah, and that, he's either been evicted or he's in jail.
Okay.
So we have a problem on trying to enforce that one.
Got it.
But
Very good.
everything else is up to code. Maybe not what actually everybody wants, but up to code.
Yeah. Well, I know why people complain. That's what people
I know.
see when they first come to Wilkes-Barre is a horrible block of unobstructedness. Okay, anything else for last words? Great, we'll see everyone on Thursday. Try not to-